Hot way! I am not looking forward to cooking in this heat.
But the aircon stopped running again, and this is the time we need it the most. And I clocked a piece of the barrier was missing. That was probably one of the most challenging drives I've done. And welcome back. You join us at Camping Scrowder and Midrill, something like that. It's desolate. We're the only ones here, but it's in the middle of nowhere and it's got a pool, so I'm gonna make use of the facilities now. And there's the pool. Fantastic. They also have a restaurant on site there, but I don't think we're going to eat there tonight. Georgie, you going to jump in the pool?
Yeah.
But there's the van, all pretty over here. But the aircon's not working. Don't know what's been happening. It's been on and off. We've been using it quite a lot. We're on electric and it's blowing. It's just not, the compressor's not kicking in. It's not blowing out freezing cold air. It's just circulating warm air. So I don't know. We're going to give it another break and see if that helps. In the meantime, though, we've got the windows open and we've got our Omni vent running. Oh.
I am not looking forward to cooking in this heat, mate. This is awful. It's going to just get hotter and hotter. And we can't cook out there either because it's even hotter out there.
And dusty.
And dusty.
Can we knock up some? Can we not knock up some cold food?
Raw chicken.
Oh. Nice.
You want some raw chicken without dodgy tummies already? I will do something. I always will.
You are wonderful, amazing. Hot one.
This is Hot way. That's the other channel.
That's not the other channel, but we do have another channel, Steve and Lynn. So I'll leave a link in the description if you want to go over there, and where we put non-travel related videos on there. Anything else, like when we go out to London for the day. Right, let's get changed and jump in the pool. How is it, George? Good.
All right.
Oh, no, look at you.
Okay, I'm being proactive. I'm not sitting and waiting for someone till we get back to the UK to fix the aircon. So I've done a bit of Googling, and there's 4 options. But I think it's most likely that it's just clogged up and horrible. So I'm just figuring out what I can get to get it clean.
Right.
But actually, I mean, look at this. It's coming out of it. That's fine.
And we've taken these off and given these a good clean and a rinsed.
Yeah, I think it's actually going to be the external part on top that we need to... I don't know, I didn't see it when he put it on. It looks like a closed unit.
Absolutely. I don't want to be messing with that, really.
Yeah, but I don't want to be without it.
Okay, well, let's see if this has helped cleaning these filters. But also, I think it's something to do with the compressor not kicking in, because it was blowing out just warm air, not the cold air when the compressor kicks in. And I looked at the draw on the electric, and it wasn't a massive draw. It was 300-400 watts, where it's normally kind of 700-800 watts, 900 watts when the compressor kicks in. So I think it's something to do with the compressor.
Ew.
Man's not hot. Man's not hot, never hot.
Man's not hot, never hot.
Man's not hot.
Okay, it's working again for now, and it's pulling 1200 watt load with the compressor running on it. So I know that's definitely right. That better, love?
Oh, I'm a woman of a certain age. Don't make me even hotter than I already am.
Just to show you guys what we're up against, it's 41 degrees outside and it's 39 in the van. And that's at 6:30 in the evening. Gonna leave that 39 degrees in the van and come for another dip in the pool. And with the aircon running, we've managed to get it down to 37 degrees in here. But the aircon stopped running again. Yeah, it's just blowing warm air again. The compressor's not working. And this is the time we need it the most.
So we brought a bottle of wine to sit around the pool because there is a bit of a breeze here, and it's definitely much cooler here than it is anywhere else. And Aziz, one of the guys who works here, he and his friend were finishing some supper and offered to take us on a tour of their vegetable patch. And they've got the most wonderful vegetable patch. They've told us about the eucalyptus and the squash. He's given me a tomato. It was absolutely beautiful. One of the interesting things is that for the last 10 years this area has been in absolute drought. The top 2 layers of the wells have pretty much gone. So they've recently sunk a new well, and it's 70 meters deep, and now they're being able to refresh and rebuild and replenish all the gardens around here.
Good morning. It was a restless night last night. It was so hot the air conditioning did not work. A lot of us, me and Ed was up at 4:30 this morning, then I managed to get it working again and it cooled the place down so we could get to sleep. It's about 10:30 now. We've all had a bit of a lay-in. I'm having some fruit again for breakfast. Loving the fruit, absolutely loving the fruit. But I'm also doing a data dump because I've got days and days worth of vlogs on all the different cameras and I'm concerned about losing any data. So all the cameras, doing a data dump right now. I think then we're gonna have a dip in the pool before we move on this morning. But we're gonna head to Dadès Gorges. And there seems to be a nice little restaurant to check out there, but it's a windy road up through the mountains, so I'm really excited to drive that one. And look at that beautiful inviting pool. Oh, fantastic. And there's a nice area here in the shade. It's beautiful, beautiful here. Right, that was a lovely swim and I've had a nice shower and we're ready to hit the road, all fresh. But before we do, let me show you around this campsite. So we're at Camping Skora am Ridil, or something like that. It's off the main road and you come down this little path here. Doesn't look like you're going to anywhere. And then you come across these gates to come through. And reception is just over this way. And here is the whole campsite. Now, we are the only ones here, as you'll see over the way there. They are not very busy, not this time of year anyway. In the winter, more so. I think they get full up in the winter with people and groups of people that come here. Let's show you the facilities first of all, shall we? Okay, men's toilets. There are a couple of interesting looking sinks here. They're kind of cute. And you have 1, 2, 3 normal toilets and 1 Turkish style toilet. And you have the ladies here. So the laundry's in here with an automatic drum and a manual sink to wash your clothes. And in here are the douche, or the showers. There's 2 showers. There you go, one there, another interesting sink here, and another shower here. So the showers are ample. Wasn't boiling hot water, lukewarm, which was actually perfect for this heat, to be honest with you. And the ladies' showers through here. There's 2 men's showers, 1 ladies. But it's quite a big site, you'll see. Look at it. It is quite huge. They'll fit a lot of vans in here. It might look a little rough around the edges, but it's seemingly standard for Moroccan campsites. We're getting used to it. Service point over here. An empty toilet cassette just here. And this is the creme de la creme of the campsite, the swimming pool, which is absolutely fantastic. The pool is definitely the draw why you want to come here. It's amazing. Probably one of the best pools that we've been to on the campsite so far. Some of the boys' favourites. One of your favourite pools, George? There you go, one of his favourites. And they had the jets coming out of here yesterday, squirting water all over the place. Fantastic. And this little undercover area right next to the pool has been perfect for relaxing and getting out the sun. And they have a restaurant on site, so they can cook you a meal and you can sit here and eat it as well. And look, there's a large indoor area for sitting and for eating in the restaurant as well. You all right, Georgie?
Very comfortable.
And this is Hamid.
Yeah.
And Hamid is the son of the owners.
Yeah.
And how long have you been here with this?
I think 2 years.
2 years now?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And it's quiet this time of year, but in the winter you get a little bit busier?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But do we need to book in advance, or is this usually room?
Usually.
Usually room?
Yeah, usually.
Okay.
Welcome.
And it's quite good value, like it's a 100 dirham per night with electric, is that right?
Yeah.
There you go, guys. There's a link in the description if you want to come here.
Welcome to Warsaw.
And nestled in amongst these pomegranate trees here, they've got some apartments that you can rent. So here's one of them here. We've got a toilet through here, there's a sink here, and there's a nice shower. And then you come through to the bedroom area, which this is a family one you can rent. There's plenty of beds here. And here's, I guess, the living room area as well. We're coming through here, you've got a patio with tables and chairs and a lovely patio area. This is really nice. This is a surprise to find these here. But yeah, I think they have 8 or 10 apartments here that you can rent. Okay, just check this out. It was 275 MAD for the camping, electricity, and use of the pool, which they charge extra for. 275 MAD is around about 23, 24 pounds. So not too bad, especially with such a lovely pool. That was definitely the draw for this stop. Right, let's get on the road. As we drove further south, the roads became more remote and the landscape more desolate. You really need to drive these roads to experience the vast emptiness between the towns and cities. Every once in a while we would come across small settlements with a few trees and 1 or 2 buildings that looked almost deserted. But then, when we reached the towns, we found them busy and bustling. It was interesting to see many more men were wearing traditional dress than we've found in the big cities. Continuing our drive southwest, the scenery changed again, eventually arriving in the Dadès Valley.
It's wonderful to think that millions of years ago, this whole area was the bottom of the sea, lush with giant coral reefs. Over time, the earth has pushed upwards, forming the Atlas mountain range. The Todra and Dad's River slowly carved away the sandstone and limestone, eventually forming a series of gorges up to 500 metres deep. As we drove deeper through the Dad's Valley and into the gorge, one side of the road was lush green oasis, and the other traditional Berber houses built into increasingly tall cliffs. We continued our drive up a road known locally as the Road of 1,000 Kasbahs, climbing higher up the mountain. At several points we were able to look across the tops of the oasis trees to the cliffs on the other side. Eventually we crested the trees and found ourselves surrounded by incredible rock formations in colours that range from beige and gold to rust red and dusky mauve.
And then we reached the famous Zig Zag road, a series of switchback bends that snake higher and higher up the mountain. With sweaty palms I kept the motorhome in second gear, and I used the whole width of the road by swinging her out wide on the bends. I managed to get the motorhome up the mountain to the highest point in the gorge, where we stopped at the Timsalite Shez Mohammed Cafe restaurant to take some amazing photos and enjoy lunch. Wow, 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 what a drive that was up the gorge. Look at this view. Fantastic. Well, I got it up in one piece, but I got to say, that was probably one of the most challenging drives I've done, the switchbacks and what have you. Oh my goodness, but it was so much fun, so exhilarating.
That's not the meaning of fun.
Not for you, George, but for me. Wait till you drive in and you get to drive them. I think the Stelvio pass, where I had to do a 3-point turn at a couple of switchbacks, was probably equally exhilarating, but thoroughly recommend it. And yes, you can get a big 9-metre motorhome up there. So we're at the Timsalite Cafe and Restaurant Hotel, which is right at the top of the switchbacks that I've just done, and it appears that everyone's putting their stickers on here, so better put a Roman Radfords on, didn't we? There we go, spot just there.
Oh, beautiful.
Look at that.
We've driven alongside the gorge. I think we've done both sides at one point as well, and it's lush greenery in the lush greenery in the middle, and then built up on the sides. It's been such a beautiful drive, and I know Steve's loved the challenge of it as well.
Since we've made it to the top and we're all hungry, I said let's get a bit of food. So we've ordered a selection of tagines and some French fries, but they've just brought the condiments out, and look how they bring out. This is salt and pepper. Look, cumin, salt and pepper. That's how they do it out here.
And a gorgeous selection of olives, which me and Harry both really enjoy, and the spicy ones are my favourites.
Well, there's some interesting vehicles, especially fully loaded on their roofs, probably going in first gear trying to get up this gorge, but they're doing it. Everything done slowly. I think I did this in second gear the whole way.
So we didn't know exactly what to order, so we did that thing where we ordered a little bit of everything. And the first thing that's come is a Berber omelette that's been cooked in the tagine. Very excited to try that. It smells amazing. Wow, that's the kofta one that's just arrived. So we've got a chicken, an egg and a kofta.
Well, that was lovely. Everyone enjoyed it, and it was around about 40 quid with drinks and food and everything, which I guess for Moroccan is going to be a little expensive, but we are at a tourist spot, so happy with that. Had a lunch with a great view. Now, we was thinking of going right over the top and back down. It's quite a long journey, but I just checked with him and he said you need a 4x4 to do that. But he did say we need to head about 4 kilometres down to the end of the gorge, so we're going to do that now. We then drove further down the gorge until we got to the bottom, where we were met with the Dad's River. I then drove along the side of the rock face, being very careful with the motorhome, especially when coming across a car coming the other way. Fortunately, this guy waited and flashed me through. We then saw camels at the side of the road, and knowing I couldn't go much further in this thing, we found a place to turn around and went back the other way, past the camels again that were eating at the side of the road, and back alongside the Dad's River. We then climbed back up to the top of the gorge, where I pulled over a few times to take some photos.
When we're at shows, I often take the mick out with Steve, because a lot of our slides that we do have pictures of the motorhome, and it's one of his favourite things. Look at this, he's off to get one now. There he is. What were you doing?
Some photos, of course. You know, when you go somewhere so picturesque, I just keep pulling over the side of the road and getting out the phone to take photos. Fantastic. I then had to tackle going down the Zig Zag road with all the switchbacks that I'd driven earlier. And the first thing you need to consider when driving a 5.5 ton motorhome down such a steep road is not to overheat the brakes. Pumping the brakes on and off, I tackled the first switchback. No problem. And as I needed the whole road, I was banking on not coming across cars coming up the pass at the bends. Fortunately, these two cars had cleared the bend and there was nothing else coming, so I swung it wide over the left-hand side of the road, and I clocked a piece of the barrier was missing, with a huge drop down the side. And I almost didn't make it, but I just pulled it round. There were only a few more switchbacks left to tackle, and Linz and I were discussing how I just managed to get round the last bend. I got the camera rolling, I couldn't do a 3-point turn, I had to make it.
Oh, dearie, where it's smashed.
And then we made it down safely without any problems. There you go.
You're gonna have to send this thing back to Swift to have every nut bolt tightened and checked.
And what we didn't show you, which I probably should have filmed, was how the clutch on this thing was just struggling. Because I pulled over a few times at the gorge to get out and take photos, and I clearly overheated the clutch, and it was just struggling to pulling off. It really was. Should have been filming that, Linz.